Alright, so today we're going to go over a game that's been out for a while, but we feel like the game hasn't have enough credit or popularity. So we're going to talk about it a little and then maybe it'll interest you in the game. Also, we didn't feel like spending $60 on an updated roster for Madden. And we will never feel like spending $60 on a sports game. So sorry. But anyways, the game we'll be talking about is Shadow of the Damned. I'm Major Tom.
I'm Ranger John.
So we'll start with talking about the story. John, I know you played through the game multiple times already, so what do you have to say about the story?
The story in Shadows of the Damned is a simple one. You take on the role of Garcia fucking Hotspur on a quest to save your girlfriend Paula, who's been taken by Fleming, the Lord of the Demons. So it's off to the demon world. But luckily you've got your trusty Johnson, who has the ability to transform into 3 different guns, a handgun, a shotgun, and a machine gun. There isn't much else to the story, but it's the game's humor that makes it a real trip.
And so the game mainly is your first-person shooter, correct?
It's a third-person shooter.
Third-person shooter, okay. So what game would you compare this to for people who haven't...
I would mostly compare it to Resident Evil 4, but it's got a dodge roll, you can sprint.
So it's more free shooting then?
Yeah, like a mix between Resident Evil and Gears of War. But there's more action, I would say, than Resident Evil. There's a lot more emphasis on evading than just taking down your enemy before they get to you, especially on the harder difficulties.
And being a Suda51 game, do they still bring the humor to the game, or is it just serious this time around?
No, the game is not serious at all.
And that's what I love about Suda51.
Yeah, the game does not take itself seriously. You know, it's tons of dick jokes. Very, very low blows when it comes to the humor. There's probably not any conversation that goes on without some back and forth with some, hidden dick jokes or, sexual innuendo. But, I mean, as long as you're not taking the game too seriously, you won't be offended or anything.
No, I mean, that's Suda51. They always have their own unique flair to a game, you know? You just gotta get used to that if you're gonna like their games. So graphics overall, are they this gen, or are they kind of dated?
I'd say they're early this gen. They're not that great as far as like power. They're not powerful graphics or anything, but it's got a very unique style that you can, it makes up for it. I mean, obviously it's not going to look like the new Battlefield or Modern Warfare because Suda51, is very, very small. They don't come out with very many games, so
No.
I doubt their budget's anything big. But the atmosphere in the game's great.
So, like lengthwise, how long did it take you to get through this game?
My first playthrough was about 8 hours, and that was on the normal difficulty. Actually, when I played on hard and easy, I was just running through because I was doing the achievements, and that took about 4 or 5 hours. So if you're going to take your time, you'll definitely get more out of the game. But if you're just trying to make it through, you can definitely do that in even one playthrough or one sitting.
And so the game is kind of short, so does it offer a lot of replay value to go back, or is it one time rent it, or so on?
You could definitely beat it in a rental. There's not much, there's not a new game plus, which would have been great because you spend a lot of time upgrading. And it would have been especially helpful on the harder difficulties, especially having to play through again for the achievements.
So what were some of the achievements like in the game, easy and hard?
The easiest is just playing through the game, beating the game on the easy difficulty. A lot of them you're going to get just by using different weapons and your different powers. There's a couple you have to use several headshots in a row. You have to decapitate someone before they hit the ground after shooting off their legs. That's probably one of the harder ones. But overall, very easy 1,000 if you don't mind beating the game several times.
Yeah, it sounds like they got a cool little variety of things to do also.
Yeah, they're not trying to screw you over or anything.
Yeah. And then, like, overall, like we said, the game is pretty good. It's fun. But it just seems to... Their games don't seem to catch on over here in America that much. Why do you think that is?
Well, definitely this one wasn't advertised very well. I don't think I saw any commercials or anything on TV or at the movies, and not really even on websites. But I definitely think that's more of EA's fault than Suda51's. And then especially this game, I think caters to a very specific audience. A lot like No More Heroes, or even Mad World.
Yeah, and I guess it also seems it'd be hard to find people that would want to advertise your game when it's filled with a bunch of dick jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's places you could do that. Comedy Central, especially Adult Swim. Adult Swim does lots of video game commercials.
Yeah, I guess they have to just work on finding a way to find a bigger appeal to their audience to bring in some more fans. Because I've played a lot of their other games, and they're awesome. They're great games. So definitely would like people to check out their games, especially if they end up playing this one and like it. Check out anything that they've worked on. They have also done a really good job on any of their games.
Yeah, I think they're learning though as they go. I think their newer games they'll find more advertising or maybe even promote it themselves. And I've already heard tons of stuff about this Lollipop Chainsaw game, and it's they just started working on it.
Yeah, that should be awesome. Well, yeah, that's basically what we call the wraps for Shadow of the Damned. Hope you enjoy. We got a ton of games coming out to work on. We got Dead Island, Resistance 3, Rise of Nightmares, the new Kinect game, and this guy of 4.
Right. Got it. That's for you, Warburg.
So I hope you guys enjoy. This has been Major Time.
This is Ranger John.